Hello and welcome back to Views from the North podcast. I'm Robin Baronoff, your host, and today we are covering the most underrated social media hack ever. Today I'm going to tell you what it is, how you can use it, and the results you should be able to expect. And as social proof, I'm using my own LinkedIn account. Today, you're noticing the ambiance of a busy coffee shop behind because, let's face it, we all enjoy a good conversation over a cup of coffee, and today, that's what we're going to have. When I was looking to start out in podcasting, there was a whole bunch of unknowns, and very few people were making it clear, let alone making it simple. The answer for me personally was Anchor.fm. They have apps that allow you to record your podcast from your phone. And they also have a brilliant website where if you connect a microphone to your computer, you can get started right away. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you'll get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now, reading this ad. So, you want to make money, right? You want to do your own podcast? You want to have your point of view heard? Then go to anchor.fm/start. And join me as a podcaster on this unique platform. The ability to comment is often overlooked in this busy world, and many times people think that if you're advertising on social media, it is the feature you shouldn't use. Nothing, in my opinion, could be further from the truth. I've started making a ton of connections simply from the fact that I've commented well. Here's how you do it. You want to bring value to the posts of your connections and the second degree connections you may have. You do this by looking for what is fresh in the feeds, and you comment with as much valuable information as possible. The more people love your comment, the more it is going to float to the top of the comment thread for that particular post. Doing that gets you exposure to the audience of your second degree connection. And personally, it has worked out very well for me. Things you should avoid. You should not talk about your product or service or whatever you're promoting. You should make it organic and social. Remember, this is social media. People want to talk to other people. So once you've got that down pat and you have an idea of who amongst your second degree connections are valuable to comment with, the more connections they have, the better. Then you are set to rock and roll. The simple rules are just that, simple. Comment on other people's posts, bring value in those comments, and let everyone work towards it. If you're trying to push this and you're trying to gain as much connections as possible, as much awareness as possible, you will need to do the very tacky thing of liking your own post right away. And if you post a response to a comment to the original post that is a question or something that will get engagement, that's going to shove you higher to the leaderboard on that post and get you amazing attention. When it comes to commenting, I think the 80-20 rule needs to apply, because everyone seems to think that working social media for business needs to be about what kind of content you are posting, how much engagement your posts are getting. That's not necessarily true. That is what business people think using social media means. But the reality is, it is social media. If you can't be engaged with other people's content, then no one's going to bother to be engaged with yours. So engaged, be seen as a human, show tact, courtesy, and thought, and you're going to be miles ahead of everybody else who's simply broadcasting their message with no thought of who's going to see it other than how much they are paying for the exposure. Building your network this way is surprisingly easy. In the early days of my LinkedIn account, I had to go seek out people to connect with. Nowadays, I gain connections simply because of my posts of comments to other people's posts. In the last 2 weeks, I've probably added 20 to 30 people to my LinkedIn following simply because of my comments. This is a trick I learned from a podcast about Instagram, and it does really work there from everything I've seen. I'm not a big Instagram user, but it is still a form of social media, and those rules of being quick to respond and getting engagement apply heavily there as they do on the rest of social media. Even LinkedIn is following some of their guidelines for growth in activity. Now, how do you know you're doing it right? Your comment on that thread is going to go towards the top of the comment thread. Your number of likes, follows, and connection requests are going to go up. Like I said, in the last 2 weeks, I've probably added 20 to 30 people that have reached out to me from my comments on other people's posts. Now, naturally, I've also been posting about my own podcast, and I've been preaching to everybody that they should have their own, and that's not going to stop. Podcasts are a great way to reach out to people and build value, both monetarily and socially. Remember, money is great, but the real value in all of this is your fellow humans. So the more value you can bring to them, guess what? The more valuable you are to them. This is something that I wish more people would take advantage of and follow along with. So, the structure you want to follow? Again, you look for posts from your second degree connections, hopefully ones that land in your field of expertise. Then you comment in a way that brings value to both the post and the thread, showing thoughtfulness and engagement. Not a simple, like, or hit the autoresponder buttons of, congrats. No, make it personal, make it real. And you will be shocked at what this can do for your social media growth. Like I said, this works on virtually every platform. Heck, I've even heard cases of it working on Pinterest. Can you imagine that? Working that trick on Pinterest? That's a heck of a platform. So, what are you going to use this for? I would love to hear how you apply this and the results you have. I'm making sure that you know about my email address, which I add in the show notes every time. It is robin@northernvistasphotography.com. That will probably change in the future, and when it does, I will update the show notes. And I mean it when I say I really want to hear your results, because podcasts are often used as a one-way broadcast mechanism. I actually want to hear from you and engage with you. Did this hack bring you help? Is there something else you would rather I cover? The ability to tell me is right there. Use the comment bar or email me directly. I don't use an autoresponder. I don't have an email sequence yet. If you get a response from me, guess what? You're getting a response from me. I hope you found value in this shorter show today. And thank you for indulging me by putting up with the background noise of one of my favorite coffee shops. Have yourselves a great day, and we will talk later.